know what was going on.
When you are playing Formula One, driving or you're rallying with Formula One cars, and you happen to collide with your competitor, the guys back at the ground, they ask you to give your competitor a permission to go ahead of you. So Max Verstappen was supposed to give Lewis Hamilton a space to go ahead of him, but what he did was he was braking at the point. So Max Verstappen hit him from the back. That was the reason as to why Lewis Hamilton was given a chance, or was given this race from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Now, there's confusion. Everybody's saying was testing brakes on me, and he was messing around. Lewis Hamilton was messing around. Max Verstappen says Lewis Hamilton was wrong by racing behind him, and when he was giving him permission to go ahead of him. It's all a confusion, but a penalty still stands for Max Verstappen. Now, into our discussion, community sports is changing lives in the communities and societies across the country. Many people, many organizations, including one of the one I'm going to introduce here and to our discussion with, from a Paka month from Kajiado, they're doing a great thing in their communities through sports. Now, Jacqueline Seleyan, welcome to KTN News. For quite some time, I've seen you do something on social media through sports, reaching out to the community, reaching out to young girls through a Paka month. Tell us about that.
Well, a brief intro would be a Paka month is an organization geared towards eradicating transactional sex in girls and young women aged 10 to 24. Mm-hmm. It was alarming when, actually in 2020, Kajiado ranked second countrywide with 1,349 reported cases of teenage pregnancy. And one of the things we've been doing is the use of sports as a tool to eradicate transactional sex. You might be wondering, how do we do that? Mm-hmm. According to the Kenya Alliance for the Advancement of Children, a priority 2 measure for community policing is what we use when it comes to sports. Through team cohesion, when the girls come together, they practice and all that, you're able to observe who is missing, who is being sexually molested. They're able to have a kind of group to communicate and tell us what more they are going through in their homes.
You're dealing with mothers, single mothers with babies, and in one way or the other, you're giving them food, sometimes pads, and all these necessities that they require in their lives to move on. How do you manage to keep them together, even through sports? You're not a coach, you're not a professional in this.
I'm not a professional, but I would laud the support of the ward coaches that we have, like Coach Dan in Rongai and Coach Kevo, who is also part of the KTF. He brings them together and we work together as a community. As I said, it's a tool of community policing for the girls, because you realize the vulnerable girls, normally the predators will want to isolate them so that it becomes easy prey. You know, even when in the wild, it's difficult to attack a herd of, say, buffaloes, but it's easy to attack when the animal iko peke yake. So we try to keep them together now through sports, and then we also use sports as a coping mechanism for the trauma. Remember, some of these girls are girls with babies, so basically babies with babies. So we have them come together, share their experiences, and help them cope with the trauma now through sports, the release of oxytocin that rejuvenates them. Additionally, we keep them busy because we also try as much as possible to, keep them away from things and vices that will see secondary
sports
problems.
Is like a therapy for these young girls.
Yes.
Now, you found a girl who has been molested or something has happened to her. But we are in Kajiado, it's a Maasai community, and we have traditions and everything going on around on. What do you do now? You've brought them together through sports. You're now training them, and you found one of them has a problem. You've identified this case. What do you do?
The first thing is to ensure that you inform the security that is in the land. So normally we go through the Deputy County Commissioner's office, inform them, they guide us through now the chiefs, ensure you inform the Children Protection Officer, and then ensure first this girl is also taken to the hospital to be checked for whatever that is there. If she's pregnant, pregnancy tests will be done. If it was rape, the necessary measures will be taken, like doing the swabs to collect evidence, giving her post-exposure prophylaxis for her to be sure that she's taken care of in terms of the spread of HIV and AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases.
Now on that evidence, we know how the system works. It's very slow. It takes a long time to get these things done. What are other challenges that you're facing while you're doing this?
The challenges that we face, of course, is the lack of a center to keep these girls. Remember, being a community, and if the perpetrator is a family member, where do you take this girl? Especially in the wake of COVID, the centers were very stringent in terms of the measures. You have to be put on isolation and all that. So it becomes very difficult for us to do the referrals, and also the distances. Kajiado being very vast, especially Kajiado West, it's very vast and the distances are in between. So you might want to go and rescue someone, but in between amepitishwa route ingine, then you have to now begin following another route. The challenge that is there, of course, is the funding. I work with friends and family to do this. So far we haven't gotten a funder per se for what we do, so we work together now, as I said, as a community. So we would appreciate anyone out there who wants to come and join us and support us as we help these girls.
I saw you in prison supplying pads to women in prison. Should you be expecting another team from prison as well?
Yeah, we are planning to go to a remand center for young girls so that we can also mentor them. We realize that also part of the problem that people from the other side of the prisons face is, what is it called? Association again into the community. They are viewed in a different kind of light, which now keeps them away from maybe getting jobs or getting the help that they need, or even going back to school. And that, in this sense, pushes them to the predators to engage in this transactional sex for them to be able to meet their needs. So that's why we now ventured into that, to ensure they also know they are loved, and the fact that they're there does not mean they cannot come out here and be accepted.
So there's somebody out there who's watching you, somebody who loves sports, somebody who's seeing what you're doing probably, maybe on social media. What would you wish to tell them to help you? Maybe you need balls, you need uniforms, what do you need?
All right, we do have our annual tournament that is coming up on 30th December and 31st, where we'll be playing the finals. And we put it deliberately on 31st so that the girls don't have a chance to go and party during 31st. So we request for footballs, we request for nets, we request for jerseys, we request for whole milk for the children, diapers, and also sanitary towels. Additionally, we would also appreciate a long-term partnership with relation to sports so that we make this very consistent.
So going forward, what's your plan?
My plan is for Upper Kamanth to have a rescue center that is open to all the girls and young women who need our help. And of course, venture out of Kajiado and have other centers elsewhere. Additionally, we would appreciate maybe in future to have pad drop centers where girls in every county can access sanitary towels for free.
Final question to you. What would you do? Like you have realized there's a lady there, a small girl who has talent, and what do you do? What do you do from there? Now that you have coaches, yes, what do you do from there?
One, I appreciate the use of the power of social media. Normally, I do share snippets of the football matches we have with the player in place, and now with that we have the Kajiado FKF team in place. I also refer the girl to such places so that she can get all the help she requires.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. That is Jacqueline Seleyan, the pioneer of a Paka Month. She is using sports in Kajiado, within the communities within Kajiado County, to help young girls achieve their dreams, live their lives, and avoid or eradicate what we call transactional sex, which is a menace in the society. My name is Jeff Mogura. Thank you for watching Monday Sports Chat. Let's keep it sporty always. Coming up is George Maringa.